Hello friends, welcome back. So just a little disclaimer before I get started here. We have people putting a roof on the addition we just built, so you might hear a little bit of background noise, people shouting, hammering. So that's what that is if you hear that throughout the practice. And today we're going to be focusing on a class that I did last Saturday. So for those of you that don't know, I've been teaching a class outdoors at the Hillview Library in Diamond Point, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. It's been going great. So this class is going to be a little bit of a segue from that class where we focus a bit on revolved triangle. So we're going to be taking that just a step further. There will be a little bit of an extra challenge. Revolved triangle itself is a very challenging posture, not only because it's a standing twist, but because there's a bit of balance involved and a shoulder alignment. So we're going to be taking that just a step further today and not only getting into that posture, but also adding in a revolved half moon as well, which is just the next step up. And if you don't feel comfortable or as though a revolved half moon is within your practice today, you have a couple different options. You can stay in revolved triangle, or you can come into just a regular half moon. So just do what feels good for you, listen to your body, and challenge yourself, but we don't want to feel any pain or discomfort. It's great to have a wall nearby, and we will be making use of a block and a strap for our practice today. And I think that's all I wanted to say. So oils in the diffuser are jasmine, rose, and coriander seed. Let's get started. Okay, friends, I would like you to join me reclined back flat on your mat. I will join you down there in just a moment. So go ahead, relax and get comfortable. For me right now, it's the afternoon. It's been a beautiful summer's day, but maybe this is morning for you or maybe in the evening. So whatever time of day it is, give yourself this time to release whatever tension you may be holding, whether it's from sleeping awkwardly or being at work all day. Just give yourself a moment to not just come into the space around you, but to connect with your bodies. Notice where you feel a little bit tight. Notice where you can make some adjustments for comfort as you come to lay back flat, tucking the shoulder blades underneath. And then just take a couple of clearing breaths. And by a clearing breath, I just mean it doesn't have to be any sort of way. We're not trying to hold the breath or extend it. We're just clearing things out. So I invite you to take a few of those and then slowly begin to find your natural pace, your rhythm. You can begin to relax or close your eyes. And allow everything to just sort of come into a pattern here. So a pattern of the environment around you, of your breath, of your body, just feeling all those feelings, enjoying all the sensation around you. And then we'll slowly begin to find our pattern of deep breathing. So building upon those inhales and exhales, finding expansion and extension. And using these deep breaths to really clear your mind. So in my class on Saturday, we talked a little bit about the nadis, which are these subtle energy points, these channels through the body. And we're going to be focusing again on those in our practice today. So as you align yourself here, I want you to think about the chakras, those 7 energy points within the body that start at the very base of the spine, coming all the way up through the crown of the head. And when we align our chakras, when they are working in unison with one another, we think of them as wheels, right? So when that very base wheel gets moving, it starts the next wheel and the next wheel, and they can be out of sync. Some can be spinning too fast, some can be spinning too slow. But we know when we're in a good alignment where we can feel this sort of dynamic and static flow within the body, right? So what helps us to disperse this energy not just through the movement of the chakras themselves, but how the energy moves its way up and down is through the nadis. And nadi translates to channel or vessel. So circling in between and around each chakra, just like the snakes on the rod of Asclepius, run these two central nadis that we're going to be focusing on today. So thinking about how this deep breath, right, we bring in that space within the body, and then we exhale, it relaxes us. And then thinking about how we can not just use that breath through the practice, but that energy, right, this sort of dualistic energy. When we think about the nadis, they control left side and right side, and it doesn't have to mean that we're dominant in one side or a little bit less dominant in the other, because the way the nadis cycle back and forth through the chakras, we can tend to find a little bit of balance, or maybe we find that although we may be right-handed, we feel stronger on the left side in some postures, and that is because of this energy flow. Again, I apologize for the noise. This is what I have to work with, so bear with me. We're going to take 5 more deep breaths here, and I want you to maintain this visualization. Think of those 7 wheels of energy making their way up your spine. And in this reclined state, hopefully they're all moving fairly slowly, but hopefully they're moving, right? And think about these energy systems snaking their way up and down, around and between each of these chakra wheels. And that's something hopefully we'll be able to come back to throughout the practice today. So finding that final deep breath in and out. And slowly connect again with your natural pace of breath. You can start to subtly move through the body as you do so. So maybe you start to point and flex through the feet. Maybe you start to bring a little bit of movement into the hands, the fingers, and the toes. I will join you now on the mat. On your next inhale, reach and extend the arms overhead, lengthen everything out. And then exhale, just softening, keep the arms extended, relax the belly and the low back. Take a couple of breaths here with the arms overhead. And on your next inhale, we'll find extension again. And as we exhale, we're going to walk hands and feet over to the left, finding this nice little banana shape. So we're stretching out through that right side body. Your right shoulder may be popping off the mat. Go ahead, relax that arm down so the shoulder is resting. And perhaps we cross that right ankle over the left and really bring the stretch, not just through the upper body, the ribs, but also down into the waist and the side of the hip. So we're relaxing here, but stay active through the body. So although the shoulder is grounded, we're still reaching through the fingertips. We're still reaching through the toes. Your next inhale, moving back through center. And exhale, hands and feet walk over to the right side. Maybe that left ankle crosses over the right. Ground that left shoulder, but again, staying active through the hands and the feet. Breathing up through this left side body. And inhaling again, moving back through center, lengthen out. And exhale, we'll float the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs. Give them a squeeze and rock from side to side. Setting up for a nice easy twist. Come back through center. Let the arms fall open. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the left. Shoulders stay grounded. Maybe we look to the right. Relax the legs. Relax the belly. Inhale, knees moving through center. Exhale, we'll move them to the right side. Again, keep those shoulders grounded down. And then soften. Breathe. Maybe look over to the left side. And inhale, once again, moving through center. And as we come back into center here, we're going to start to warm up the core a little bit. Since we will be focusing on a lot of revolving, twisting into the belly, we want to make sure this area is nice and engaged. So, arms resting face down alongside the body. Extend your feet up into the air. And take a moment here just pointing and flexing through the feet. We are going to stretch out the legs in a moment. So don't worry too much about focusing on stretching out through the hamstrings and calves, but we are going to warm them up just a little bit. We're going to be lifting and lowering the legs. So up to you whether you want to keep the feet flexed, whether you want to send the energy out through the balls of the feet, or have the toes pointed. I'm going to point my toes. And the objective here is to keep your low back as flat to the mat as you can. If you start to feel it pop up, that's when you know your legs have gone down too far. So on an inhale, start extending your legs forward and down until you can feel the low back pop up. Then suck the navel to the spine. Exhale. Legs back into the air. So inhaling as we extend down. Pull the belly in. Exhale. Back to center. We're going to do that 5 more times. Nice and slow. Use some control. Really draw the navel in on the exhale. Two more rounds. Last time, breathing in on the extension. And then bend those knees. Give yourself a squeeze. And take the hands to the knees. We're going to circle the legs around a few times. Taking the knees apart as we circle, so opening the legs wide. Reversing the direction. And then come to stillness. Find your strap. We're going to start with the right foot. So extending the left leg on the mat. We'll take the strap around the ball of the right foot, extend it toward the ceiling. And this, so I've already stretched my legs out today, so I'm already a little bit warmed up. But start with the leg extended out in front and just play with the flex of the foot so that we start the stretch deeper into the ankle and into the calf. It's also very warm up here, so if you're practicing in a warm space, you might also find you're a little bit more easily stretchable than normal. We'll start with just a soft bend to the knee, and again, I'm just really focusing on flexing deeply into the foot. And I'm still keeping this left leg active, left foot flexed as well. And after I take a few breaths here, I'll begin to straighten through this right leg. You can keep the knees soft still. And then start to bring the stretch deeper up into the hamstring. Relax the shoulders. Keep the left leg actively pressing down. And breathe. Taking the strap in the right hand close to the toes, ground that left hip, and we'll open the leg to the right. Does not have to reach the floor. We're stretching into those inner thigh muscles, the adductor muscles, as well as opening up into the hip. Inhale, moving through center. Strap goes in the left hand. And we'll move the leg across to the left side. It does not have to reach the ground because we want that right shoulder to stay put. Keep that left leg active. We're still sending energy out through both legs here. Now we're bringing that stretch into the IT band, that long ligament, tendon, whatever you want to call it, that runs down the outside of the leg. Inhale and move through center. We'll lengthen back out through that right side. Take another full breath. One more inhale to remove the strap. And on the exhale, float that right leg all the way down. Once it reaches the mat, soften everything, take a breath. And we'll float the left foot in. Strap goes around the ball of the left foot. And again, as we find that initial extension, don't come back all the way just yet, but really deepen the flex into the foot, stretching out the ankle, the calf. And remember that right leg is still active on the mat, so right foot is also flexed. We're pressing that right leg down as we begin to deepen the stretch into the left hamstring, pulling the leg back. And strap in the left hand. Right hip stays grounded down as we open to the side. And what I mean by that right hip staying grounded is when we naturally open up like this, that side of our hip wants to pop up because we want to get that foot to the ground, right? But we'll get a deeper, more effective stretch by keeping that right hip, that right side of your bum glued to the mat, and just finding that energy and extension out through the foot. Inhale through center, strap going into the right hand, and as we move across the body, remember keep that left shoulder grounded. Just like with the hip, it's going to prevent us from just flopping right to the floor, making that stretch to the IT band more effective. Still keeping that right leg active, still breathing. They're literally right overhead in my roof right now. So inhale, back to center. Again, lengthening out. Plug that left hip down. One more nice deep breath to that left side. Remove the strap from that left foot. Take a breath in. And exhale, float it down. Once it reaches the mat, soften your whole body. Take a breath. You can place your strap off to the side. We're done with it. And rolling to one side, doesn't matter which. Inhale and push yourself up to your most comfortable seated position. Take your left hand to the mat. On an inhale, we'll reach that right hand up and overhead, side bending through the body, active fingertips. And we always start with this bend to the elbow here. So bending into that left elbow. And then as we open up space through this right side body here, I want you to start to really press that left hand away from the mat and not completely straightening that arm, but starting to find a little bit of extension here. What this is going to do is help us stay extended through this left side body. So we're not just collapsing straight down. On your next inhale, reach both hands up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the chin to the chest and your hands to your legs. So we're stretching the back of the neck out. Shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, right ear up and over the right shoulder. So we're hanging the head to the side. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale, roll the chin back into the chest. Inhale, left ear up and over the left shoulder. Take a breath in again. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, come up through center. We're going to take a nice easy twist here. So take another inhale, go nice and tall. As we exhale, we'll twist to the right, always starting at the waist. Using a couple more breaths to work our way up the spine. Breathing in. Exhale, moving back through center. If it feels okay with the legs, reversing the cross of the feet. And we'll take the right hand to the floor. Inhale, left hand up and over. And again, we're bending into that right elbow to start. Actively reaching to the side of the room. Take a few breaths to open up some space. And then we'll really start to press away from the mat, finding extension through that right arm. And next inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, chin to chest, hands to the legs, hanging the head, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, left ear up and over the left shoulder. Take a breath. Breathe in. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, right ear up and over the right shoulder. Full breath. Breathe in. Exhale, chin to chest. And inhale, moving back through center. We're going to stretch the legs out in front, give them a nice little wiggle. We're just going to take one little fold here. We've already stretched out the legs pretty good. We'll start with a soft bend to the knee, feet flexed, arms out to the side. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, extend and fold down. Really feel the spine reaching. And then soften yourself over the legs and pedal out the backs of the knees. So we're just lifting and lowering the backs of the knees on the mat. Hands can rest to the mat, the ankles, the feet. And I'm not collapsing my head all the way down, but I'm still finding extension through the neck and the crown of the head toward the toes. And then we'll slowly bring the legs to stillness, and you can keep them soft or you can start to straighten them toward the mat. Keep the feet flexed, breathe in, exhale. Feel that belly tighten up, next breath in, reaching all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. We'll be moving into a tabletop position. Before we really start to get moving here, just make sure that you have a block or whatever prop you're using available to you at the top of your mat. I just have to make a slight adjustment. Things start to move around. So coming into table, hands and knees, starting with our circles up and around the wrists. And just gently moving around in both directions. When we did this class Saturday, we incorporated it into a vinyasa style class. We're not going to be doing that today. So we're just giving the wrists a nice, easy stretch and warm up. We'll come to the top of the right hand, gently circle around. Shaking it out before we move to the top of the left hand. And shaking out that left hand before coming back to table. On your next inhale, we're going to reach and extend that left hand up into the air. Press that right hand away from the mat. Hold here and breathe. Inhale. As we exhale, we'll thread the needle. So that left hand coming down between the right arm and leg. We'll lower down onto our left side bodies. So the shoulder and the left side of the head are on the mat. Relax the head and neck. We're not trying to strain to look up at the ceiling. And we're going to include a bind here, but before we do, even the weight out between the hips and the legs. And then we can inhale that right hand up into the air, and then perhaps reaching it to the small of the back or the outer left hip. And as we do so, we want to try to actively and gently pull that right shoulder back behind us so that it begins to stack over the left. Your head will naturally start to look up, but do not strain the neck. Breathe in. Right hand to the ceiling. And then exhale, right hand to the mat. Press it down. Next breath in, extending up and out through that left arm. Exhale, back to table. Inhale through cow, extending. Exhale, rounding into cat. 2 more times. Coming back into table. Your next inhale, right arm extending up and open. Press the mat away. Take a breath or 2. Inhale and exhale, thread the needle. Coming down onto that right side body. Relax the head and the neck. Adjust the weight between the hips and legs. Optional bind. Inhale that left hand up. Exhale to the small of the back or the outer right hip, beginning to roll that shoulder open to the side And again, you might feel your head naturally turn up, but again, we're not straining. Breathe deeply. And inhale, left hand up. Exhale to the mat, press it down, breathing in, extending the right arm open. And exhale to the mat, back into table, inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. 2 more times. Inhale through table, tuck the toes, walk the hands a step or 2 in front, breathe in again. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent to start. Press the belly button toward the top of the thighs. Not locking the arms, but pressing into the palms of the hands, and then we can pedal out the feet, lifting and lowering the heels, and opening up space again through the back of the body, through the backs of the legs, especially through the calves and the backs of the knees. And finding stillness, take a breath. Inhale, look to the hands. And exhale, we'll walk to the top of the mat, folding down over the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Rolling up to stand, big breath in as we round up, upper body hangs as we straighten the legs. Arms come out to the side, reaching up overhead as we look up to the hands. And exhale, hands into the heart. We're going to start to move right through it here. Breathe in. Exhale, arms release down. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, swan dive forward over the feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, framing the right foot. Inhale, left foot steps back, the knee grounds for the low lunge. Take a moment here to find your balance. Your next breath in, reaching both hands up to frame the ears. Exhale, shoulders relax. Press the hip bones forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, peel the arms back for a back bend. Squeeze slightly into the glutes. Hips still pressing forward. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands down. Left hand plants to the inner right foot. Inhale, right hand reaching up. Or hand to the hip. Press away from the mat. Try to bring your chest and inner right knee to the center. Breathe in. And exhale, right hand down. We're going to scoot those right toes forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hinging back to our half split. Left hip comes back over the knee as the right leg extends and the right toes point to the ceiling. So hands under the shoulders to start. I'm not folding down just yet. Looking forward, breathe in. Exhale, take a bend to the elbows. I'm not bringing my torso down. I'm simply bending the arms to bring the belly closer to the leg. Still looking toward the top of the mat and just really breathing into the back of this right leg. Notice if that left hip is pulling back. It probably is. And just pull the right hip back to begin squaring off those hips. Breathe here. Your next inhale, straighten the arms. And taking your left hand either to the block, to the inner right leg, or to the mat, we're going to come into our first little twist here. Right hand will come to the right hip on an inhale. looking to the side. Pull your torso in toward the center, so close to that inner right thigh, and then perhaps extending that right arm. 2 big breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale, right hand down, framing that right leg. Your next inhale, slowly moving forward back to that low lunge, flattening the right foot. Inhale, look forward. Tuck those left toes. Exhale. Inhale, lift the left knee. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat, folding over the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We're going to frame that left foot. Inhale, right foot steps back. And the knee grounds for the low lunge. Take a moment to adjust yourself, finding your balance. And your next breath in, reaching both arms forward and up to frame the ears. Exhale, relax the shoulders, press those hip bones forward, breathe in, lift the chest. Exhale, arms peel back. Squeeze the bum. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands to frame the left foot. Right hand to the inside of that left foot. And inhale, left hand to the hip or all the way to the ceiling. And again, we're trying to bring our chest and our inner left knee close to the center, pressing the mat away. And breathing. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Scoot those left toes forward, look forward, breathe in. And exhale, hinging back to that half split. Right hip over the knee, left leg extends, toes to the ceiling. Hands are under the shoulders. We're not dropping our upper body here. Squaring off those hips, pull the left hip back. And then soften into those elbows, bringing the belly closer to the thigh and really feeling that stretch through the back of this left leg. Start to straighten the arms. Right hand to the block or to the mat, the inner left leg. Finding our twist nice and slow. We'll start with the inhale, left hand to the hip. Starting to pull open the shoulders here. Perhaps we find that extension toward the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, slowly moving back to that low lunge. Exhale, tuck those right toes. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, walking to the top of the mat and folding over the feet. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale to fold. Soften into the knees. We're going to roll up to stand. Big inhale. Arms come out and up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And release the hands down. Again, just making sure your block is available to you as we move into the next round. Mountain, lift and spread the toes. Root yourself into the mat. Grow nice and tall through the upper body. Active legs, active fingertips. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms forward and up to frame the ears. And as we exhale, hands to the heart, weight shifts into the right foot, soft bend to the knee, and we'll start to lift that left knee into the chest. We're going to be stepping back to a high lunge through a warrior 3. So inhale, left foot reaching back. Maybe the arms reach forward, maybe they stay at the chest. Hover just for a moment, squeeze that left glute, and then slowly dip those left toes down. Right knee stacks over the ankle as we lift the torso. And making sure we're nice and lifted and active through this left leg, pressing back through the heel. Press the hip bones forward, look forward, chin parallel to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring the hands into the heart. We're going to slowly start to straighten this front leg. So as we begin to straighten the right leg, left heel will stay lifted. We can keep a soft bend to this right knee, but if the leg is completely straight, really turn on that quad. And then we'll begin to soften that left heel down, setting up for pyramid. So really feel that stretch in the calf back here. And for some of you, if this feels a little off balance, feel free to heel toe the right foot out to the side and turn those left toes slightly out. Just making sure we square off those hips, right hip pulling back, left hip forward. On an inhale, really root yourself down into that left foot and start to extend the crown of the head forward. Again, soft bend to the knees, okay. Strong, strong quads if the legs are straight. Hold here, pausing over the right leg. And then again, your hands can come down. Maybe they find the block right in front, or maybe we bring the hands all the way down to the mat, framing the right leg and beginning to deepen our fold down. So really stretching through the whole back of the body, not just that right hamstring, but feeling it in the back leg as well. We're going to be setting up for that revolved triangle here. So now I want you to alleviate some of this stretch into the back leg. We're going to lift that left heel. You're going to take your left hand either to the block or to the mat, to the inner right foot, right ankle. And with that left heel lifted, right hand comes to rest on top of that right ankle. On an inhale, we're going to slide the right hand up the leg to the hip, turning our torso to the side. And before we even worry about lifting that right arm, I really want you to pull that right shoulder back, pull the belly in, and start to bring the torso into the center. If you can look and see that your right shoulder is stacked over your left, then I encourage you to lift that right arm. Really find the breath here. Strong legs. Maybe the left heel starts to soften down a little bit. Breathe in. Exhale, right hand coming down to frame the right foot. Inhale, bend that right knee, coming to a runner's lunge. Look forward. Exhale, plant the hand, step back to downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat, folding over the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Framing that left foot on an inhale, right foot steps back. We're going to get ready to come up into a high plank from this position. So again, before we even lift their torsos up here, press that right heel back, really turn that right leg on, and then squeeze that left glute. We can either bring hands to the left thigh to lift or extend the arms forward as we inhale, coming up. Arms to frame the ears, press those hip bones forward. We're going to take a couple breaths here. Again, if you want to create space between the legs, heel toeing that left foot out to the side, but making sure the ankle is stacked, the knee is stacked over the ankle. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to slowly start to straighten that left leg and bring that right heel down. Breathe here, create the space in the body before we start to find that extension forward and the fold down. And again, we want those right toes just turned out ever so slightly. And again, we can make a little bit more space between the legs to help with our balance. Strong quads if the legs are straight as we inhale, root into that back foot and extend the crown of the head forward. Feel that tailbone reach back. We're going to pause about halfway here and take a breath. And you can either grab your block to bring down for the hands or slowly bring the hands all the way down, framing that left leg to fold. Begin squaring off those hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe. Another name for this posture is intense east, because it is a very intense stretch for the whole back of the body. Really connect with your breath. As we get ready to come into a revolved triangle, lift up slightly off the leg, lift that right heel, and then block or hand to the inside of that left foot, left hand to the left ankle, and on an inhale, we'll slide that left hand up the leg to the hip. And again, first we want to work on opening up through the chest, through the shoulders, bringing the chest into center, and then perhaps we extend that left hand. Breathe in. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, bend into that left knee, runner's lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog, 3 big breaths. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat, folding over the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Roll up to stand. Arms out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And release. So we're going to be ready to come into our revolved half moon. And before we do that, I'm just going to quickly workshop what that is for you using the wall. So our regular half moon is where we come in from like a warrior 2 or a triangle, Hand in front of the foot, other hand to the hip. And as we lift the back leg, we begin to straighten that standing leg. Breathing, perhaps the arm lifts. So that's our regular half moon. Revolved half moon is exactly how it sounds. So opposite hand comes in front of the foot. Again, your other hand will start at the hip. So almost like this modified warrior 3 position. And then find the twist first. Perhaps lifting the arm. But just like we did in revolved triangle and in that revolved split, we want to try to bring the chest and the torso close to the inner leg before we even worry about lifting that arm. So if we're going to do this with the wall, you want the wall to be on the side that you're not twisting towards. So for me, I'm going to start with my left foot forward. We're starting in this sort of warrior 3 position. So coming down with the hands. My right hand will be in front of my left foot. And I'm just resting my right hip against the wall here for balance, a little bit of support. I'm hovering it next to the wall. Soft bend to my left knee as I bring the left hand to the hip. And this is where I really want to bring myself into center. I have the wall here for support, but I'm really trying to stay strong through my left leg. And then maybe lifting that left hand. Coming down nice and gentle. So I encourage you to use the wall. I'm now going to flow you through this using the warrior 3 to come into it. Yeah, I'm going to try it without the wall. It's been a while since I practiced this, so you may see me struggle. I'm going to be struggling right along with you. The key is to move very slowly, mindfully, and with the breath. So don't be afraid to use the wall. You can also use the block underneath that arm on the supporting ground, which I do encourage, and which I'm probably going to do as well. So coming back to stand at the top of the mat in mountain, lift and spread the toes, and like I said at the beginning of class, if a revolved half moon isn't going to cut it for you today, maybe trying to attempt the regular from a warrior 2 into triangle into a lift. So meeting again in mountain, sorry. Really take a few moments to power up the body here. Bring up that earth energy. Bring down that cosmic energy. Allow those nadis, those channels to circumvent that energy through your chakra systems. And just breathe. Connect with yourself. Visualize yourself getting up into these postures. Visualize how you want to move. Remind yourself in this moment to engage the core. Very important element of this. On an inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Shift your weight to that right foot. Left knee comes into the chest. Inhale, extend that left foot back. Maybe the arms reach forward, pausing in warrior 3 just for a moment before we lower those left toes down and the arms up back to our hind lunge. So strong through this back leg. On an inhale, extend the arms forward. So we're coming to an extended lunge here. And then slowly hands can come down. Left hand to the block, maybe to the floor in front of those right toes or just to the side. I'm going to hop my back foot in and bring my right hand to the hip. Slowly shift your weight into that right foot and lift that left leg. Keep that left foot active. It's really easy to forget about it. And squeeze that left bum. Slowly begin the twist. So turning the torso to the side, you might have to hop the hand or block out in front of the foot a little bit. And as you twist, do it in increments. Twist a little, engage the back leg a little. Twist a little, engage the back leg a little. Keep firming your connection through that right leg. Keep breathing. Feel the belly working, pulling into the spine. And if those shoulders are stacked, maybe that right arm lifts. And as we get ready to come out so slow, hand to the hip, untwist, Left foot down. We'll frame that right foot nice and slow, guys. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Really great work. Inhale, lift to the hands. Exhale, walking to the top of the mat, folding down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Rolling up to stand. Arms out and up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And release. So remember, if you're going to be using the wall, you want to have the wall on the side you're twisting away from. So if you're about to switch sides, now with our left foot forward, we'd want to make sure that as we twist to the left, the wall would be on our right side. Make sure the block is available. Coming back through mountain, we'll flow through it. Inhale, arms reaching forward and up. Exhale, hands to the heart, weight shifts to that left leg as we draw the right knee into the chest. Feel that belly tuck in. Inhale through warrior 3, finding that extension, hovering just for a moment before dipping those right toes down, bringing the arms up. Really strengthen up that back leg. Remember, we want to keep that leg as active as we can. Breathe in. Exhale, hands start to come down. Right hand to the block or the mat in front of this left foot. Left hand comes to the hip. We're going to hop the back foot in. Slowly shift your weight into that left foot, lifting the right leg. Remember, squeeze the glute. We want to try to keep that right hand under the shoulder here. I forgot to tell you that, guys, that before. Active right foot. Tuck the belly into the spine and begin the twist to the side nice and slow. Remember, twist a little, engage the back leg a little. Twist a little, engage the back leg a little. Breathe. It's not about how far you lift that leg. If the shoulders are stacked, maybe we reach that hand up. And then coming out slowly, hand to the hip. Untwisting. Toes down. Framing that left foot. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale to table, knees to the mat. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. One more time. Moving back into table, your feet cross behind you. Bring your bum down and your feet forward. And I know I kind of moved through that a little quickly, but feel free to practice for as long as you like with the wall. It's a really great pose for being mindful of your whole entire body. Just a regular half moon helps you to be mindful, but this really brings some other elements into play, including finding that balance between our left and right side since we're incorporating the twist. So just a really fun posture. If you didn't get it today, that's okay. You can try again another time. It's all about muscle memory. It's all about the breath and making those connections. Getting ready to wind down. Finding our half boat position in the center of the mat. Knees bent, arms out to the side, big breath for a tall spine. Exhale, pull the navel in and begin rounding back nice and slow. Use control to release the upper body down. Once the head reaches the mat, relax the arms and legs. Allow the spine to neutralize. Take a big breath into the belly and let it out with a sigh. Float the knees into the chest and wrap the arms around the legs. Give them a squeeze, rock from side to side. From here, we'll find a happy baby. Open the thighs wide around the ribs. Nice stretch for the hips here. And we can rock in this position as well. And bringing the soles of the feet together, keep the knees wide, lower the legs to the mat. Relax the shoulders, soften the belly. Inhale, bring the knees together, let the arms fall open. We'll scoot our bums to the right. Extend the left leg. Right foot to the left knee. Take a breath in. Exhale for the twist. Right knee softens over to the left. Keep that right shoulder grounding down. And release here. Inhale, moving through center. Scoot your bum to the left and extend the right leg. Left foot to the right knee. Breathe in. Exhale for the twist. Left shoulder stays grounded. Your knee does not have to reach the floor. Just release here. Deepen the breath. Inhaling once more to center. Even out your hips. Any little stretches, adjustments that you need to take before Shavasana, I invite you to take those now. And then whenever you're ready, we'll recline back in Shavasana. So maybe that's walking the hip bones down a little. Tucking the shoulder blades underneath. Palms facing the ceiling. And releasing the core so you feel the low back soften to the mat. You can soften or close the eyes. Connecting again with your natural breath. Noticing how it feels moving in and out of the body. Noticing where you might still feel energy within the body. We're going to take 3 releasing breaths before we settle completely. So we'll breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as full and controlled as you can. I now invite you to release the control over your breath, to surrender yourself into the body, and to release all of that hard work we just did within this practice. Allow your breath to deepen again, inviting awareness to return to the body, wiggling out through the toes and the fingers, and rocking the head gently from side to side. On an inhale, reach and extend your arms overhead, stretch everything out. And exhale, softening. You can float the knees into the chest one more time. Give yourself a hug and find your mantra, those words of kindness and gratitude just for yourself. And whenever you are ready, rolling to one side and slowly making your way up to sit. We'll bring the hands into the heart. And if you care to join me in ending our practice with a round of Om, we're actually going to be doing 3 rolling Oms today. So don't worry about keeping pace with me. We're just going to go from one right into the next, right into the final. And if you want to continue to do them, feel free. So we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale all the stale air. One more inhale for the Om. Such a beautiful practice today. I thank you all so much for your continued support, and I look forward to next time. Namaste.